Hi there, welcome to my channel. Please do me a big favor, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. And also, Robinhood. There's a link in the description below. If you guys sign up to a Robinhood account, you could potentially get up to $200 worth of free stocks. Please use that link, sign up, and get that free money. Well, this is my portfolio, and as you guys can see, we're sitting just a little bit above that $100,000 mark. So what happened to my portfolio? Basically, it's been slashed in half. But first of all, let me just show you what dividends I'm going to be getting today. And then I'll go into the explanation of why my portfolio is basically almost been cut in half. So let's go down here. This is the 17th. So as you can see, I'm getting YieldMax ETFs, getting some dividends. Here's a $20 dividend, $7, $17 from YMAG. And these two Roundhill ETFs, one is paying me a little bit over $8, and the other is just a little bit over $7. So now let's go over to the dividends. So I'm just a little bit above $100,000. So am I still getting paid the same amount of dividends, even though my portfolio's value is almost cut in half? Let's take a look at the dividends. So here we are. So as you guys can see, still on an annual basis, it's at $57,000. On a monthly basis, just about close to $5,000 on a monthly basis. And so, yeah, still getting paid dividends, still making that money on a monthly basis. And that's the aim of my portfolio. That's the focus of my portfolio, is to get paid dividends, to make money now, because I need money now. And so what happened? Why is my portfolio only at a little bit over 100,000? Did I lose all my money? Well, no. Let's look down here and you'll see it's right here in cash. $141,000 right here sitting in cash. And so what happened is that my shares from a covered call that I sold were sold. Okay, so it did go through, the sale went through of my covered call. So if you guys remember, if we scroll all the way to the bottom, let me go all the way to the bottom. If you guys remember, if you've watched my previous videos, I told you that all of the ETFs I own have something in common. They all pay monthly dividends, except for one. It's this one. This is the iShares S&P 500 Growth ETF, ticker symbol IVW. This ETF does not pay monthly dividends. And so the focus of my portfolio is to get paid monthly dividends, getting paid every month. And so there is a way to get this ETF to pay every month by selling a covered call. Now, the main reason why I own this ETF is because I anchor my portfolio to this ETF since it's an S&P 500 ETF. And since I already know what the track record of the S&P 500 is, the S&P 500 is going to go up and to the right over time. So if you can look it up, what the S&P returns on an annual basis, it returns anywhere from 7 to 10% on an annual basis. And so since I know that the S&P 500 is going to increase in value over time, that's why I anchor my entire portfolio to this ETF. But at the same time, I do want to make money on a monthly basis off of this ETF. And so the way to do that is by selling covered calls on this ETF. So let me show you guys the covered call that got sold for this month. Let me show you guys. It is over here. It's right here. Okay, let me enlarge that. So, okay, here it is. So as you guys can see, this is selling a call on IVW at a strike price of $83, and it expired today, 5/17. So I put in this covered call April 26th, 2024, sold 17 contracts at $1.20. So basically this means that I got $1.20 for 1,700 shares, or $1.20 per share, and it's 1,700 shares. So here's what I was credited. It's about $2,040. So as soon as you sell a covered call, you immediately get credited the money. So I got $2,040 immediately for creating this contract, this covered call contract. The strike price, as I mentioned before, is $83. So basically, when you sell a covered call, you are promising to sell your shares at a certain price at a certain time, no matter what the price is. So I had to sell my shares at $83. And so as you guys can see, if we go back to here, as you guys can see, I had to sell my shares to the person on the other end of this contract for $83. And the current value per share is $86.29. But I got paid $2,040. Okay, so I got $2,040 for the contract immediately. And also, let's go over here to the calculator. I bought my shares for $82.19. So this was my average cost, $82.19. And I sold all of my shares for $83. Okay, so let's see what the difference is. We're going for 83. So the difference is 81 cents. Okay, so I sold 1,700 shares for 81 cents. So I made $1,377 when I sold my shares, or when they were called away from me for $83. And I also made, so we got to add the credit or the premium that I received for the contract. And that was $2,040. So in total, on this covered call, I made $3,417. So I didn't lose any money. I made money. And so, yeah, my upside was capped at $83, but I'm okay with that. I have no problem with that because I want to make money now. And at some point, I mean, you got to sell to make money. And so that's what happened. It sold off for $83, but I still made $3,417. Now, the person on the other end of the contract, let's find out and see how much that person made. Because I sold my shares for 83, and the current price was 86.29. So that person on Monday, if the price is still 86.29, that person then can sell the shares immediately on the open market on Monday. So if that person sells the shares on Monday for 86.29, if the price is still 86.29, that person is going to make $3.29 per share. So it was 1,700 shares times 3.29. Okay, so that person is going to make some pretty good money. The person on the other end of this contract is going to make $5,593. So basically, I made money, and the person on the other end of the contract made money as well. Okay, so that's one covered call. Now here's another covered call. Here's another example of a covered call that I sold back in March, and it expired in April. My average cost was the same on this covered call. It was $82.19. But as you guys can see, I sold this call for a strike price of $85. I made the same amount, $2,040. Now, this covered call, these shares weren't taken away from me because the price of IVW never reached $85. So I kept all my shares. And then that's when I sold another covered call, which was this one. Okay, so the following covered call was this one, or the last one I sold was this one, and you guys saw I made over $3,000. And so I didn't lose any money. Maybe I could have made some more money by selling it myself, but I mean, I think I made a pretty good amount of money by selling a covered call. And so for the following week on Monday, I got some cash right here that I'm going to do something with. I'm obviously not just going to let it sit there. I need that money to work for me. I need that money to make me money. And so what I'm going to do with this over $140,000 is I'm probably going to buy back IVW. So I'm hoping that at some point, maybe in the following week or in the following days, maybe this thing will take a little bit of a dive. I'm thinking like maybe 83, 84. So if it drops down to 83, I'm buying it, and I'm probably just going to sell another covered call on it, or I'm going to day trade it. So it just depends what the best option for me is. So if it's a better option for me to day trade it, then I'll day trade it. If it's a better option for me to sell a covered call on it, then I'll sell a covered call on it. And I'll continue to make money in this ETF by selling covered calls or by day trading it. And also keeping it the largest portion of my portfolio being the anchor that keeps my portfolio pretty much steady and going up in value. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. Thank you so much for you guys who have subscribed. You're really helping me out. And also, if you guys got any questions, please put them in the comments. If you got anything to say, if you've got anything that can help me out, I'm barely starting out with this YouTube channel stuff. I'm new to it. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing very well, but if you guys got any tips for me, any information about YouTube that will be helpful for me, I really would appreciate it if you guys put that in the comments for me. If you got any questions about covered calls, selling covered calls, if you'd like me to go into more detail about how I sell covered calls, please write something in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and God bless. See you in the next one.